So let's move forward with the real coding now. I think that's very important. Okay. Let's see something in action. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you about the variable. Basically, understand variable. I'm going to use the Python language today, and I'm going to talk about variable. So consider variable as a box. Okay. And in this box, you can store a data. Okay. I'm gonna tell you that how that really matters. I'm gonna tell you right now. Search on Google Python, okay, IDE online. Now over here, if I click on the first link, and let me remove everything. Now over here, I'm gonna write some Python code for these are the real instructions which my computer will understand and will display the result on this small window. So we will write Python code over here in this big window, and I'm going to see the output coming up over here. Okay. Variable is nothing. You can take any name. I mean, you can say A, B, C, D, or you can say anything. Let's say if I say name, my name is the variable, and I can store over here, think cloudly. So what I'm doing, this name is my box, and I'm storing think cloudly in the box called name. Okay. So over here, this is my variable is my box, and I'm putting think cloudly. I'm putting the data in this box. Now, you know what is the benefit of this variable? The benefit of this variable is that I don't have to type think cloudly again and again. I can use this think cloudly, I can just use this variable multiple times. Let me show you how. Let's say if I want to print on the screen, like if I print this variable, like I want to see what is there inside this variable, I can just say print, and I can type this, and I can run it. If you see, my computer has understood that I am trying to print think cloudly. So when I typed print, my computer, Python is trying to say to my computer that print something, whatever is there in this box, in this variable, print that value. So if I change, okay, let's say if I go ahead and, I want to print this 3 times. Okay. I'm going to run it, and you will see that computer will print this 3 times. Now the benefit is if I change it at one place, okay, it will change at all the places. I don't have to manually change it. So if I click now, it will show think cloudly 1, think cloudly 1, think cloudly 1. So this is the variable. The importance of variable is that you can store some key values, okay, in the box, in the variable, and you can use that at multiple places. Okay, this is how programming, I mean, when you learn programming or scripting, you will understand it more. But what I'm trying to explain is that variables are quite important to store some data for a temporary purpose, which is changeable data. You can change it anytime whenever you wish to change it. Okay. Now, this is number 1. Everyone can try this. Okay, let me show you one more thing. If I say that number 1, this is my variable, okay, and I'm storing, let's say 100. And in number, I'm creating another variable, and I'm storing, let's say 150. Now, what I want to do is I want to do a sum, or I can type, let's say total. This is again another variable, and I can type number 1 plus number 2. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, plus these 2 variables. I can do it. So I can just type number 2, and now I can print total. I can print total. So what's happening over here? First, I'm storing a data that is 100 in the variable number 1. Then I'm storing 150 in number 2. And then I'm doing a total over here. I can keep any name of this variable. It's just to, make sure that people understand. That's why I'm keeping a very understandable name, but you can keep any name over here. Okay, you can, let's imagine I want to keep anything. I can keep anything, but I have to use the same name when I want to print it. So let's say if I do that, it will give me the value. So you see what's happening over here. So it's printing the value 250. What actually happened? When I write this small piece of code, computer understood that first I have to store 100 in this variable. I have to store 150 in this variable. And after that, when it reaches to third line, it is going to add number 1 and number 2, and then it is finally printing it. So that is why you see the message which you are actually printing it. I know it's getting a bit complex for people who are joining very first time or who are trying to understand very first time, but I'm trying to show you a significance of a variable. Variable is very helpful to store a data temporarily and use it. Let's say over here we are using it for adding purpose, and then finally we are printing it. Guys, this is the syntax which we have to follow, which we really have to follow. We cannot do anything. I mean, if we don't want to use variable, we cannot do programming. This is how programming works, and some things are very strict, and we have to learn it the way they are. Okay, so you can also try this. Let's say if I want to change the variable name, I can change the variable name over here, but I have to use the same when I'm printing it. So you can see it will show me the same results. Now, if I change the value over here, I say 300. Now the result, it should print 400. Yes. So if you see, the result is 400. Why? Because computer understood I have to add two values, which is in the container number 1 and container number 2. When I say container, it's the variable. Now let's understand. There was a second thing which I told you in the fundamental. That was the condition. Okay. See, sometimes what happens that there are some, let's say if you're traveling on a road, sometimes either you have to take left or you have to take right. Based on your destination, you have to take those decisions, right? Just like that, when you are writing a big computer program, you have to take certain decisions. Okay, so conditions are actually the real decisions. Okay, so if you have to take the real decisions, right, that is possible only with the help of condition. Let me show you how we are going to do that. Okay, so let me show you. Condition actually follows a syntax that is if and else. So let me show you guys. So I'm going to type if. I'm actually giving a condition. Okay, if total is greater than 200, then print hooray. Okay, else print very bad. Okay, so what I'm trying to do over here, I'm actually, so basically over here, I have two variables and I'm adding those variables and I'm checking if the total is above 200. If the total is 200, I will see the message hooray. It's above 200. I'll see the message hooray. And if I have like, less than 200, it will give me a message very bad. Sometimes this happens, right? When you enter wrong password, so it says wrong password. And when you enter such right password, it lets you log in. So just like that over here, condition works. So now over here, I'm writing this code. Now computer will understand that if total is greater than 200, it will print hooray. If the total is less than 200, then it will print very bad. So guys, what should be the output in this case? Will it print hooray or will it print very bad? What do you think, everyone? How many of you think that it's going to print hooray? So over here, 100 plus 300 is 400. And our total 400 is greater than 200, right? So it should print hooray, or it should print hooray. Why? Because our total is greater than 200. Let's see. see, it printed 200. But now let's say if I decrease the number 2 to 50, now what will be our total, everyone? It will be 150. So which one it should print? Will it print hooray or will it print very bad? So it will print very bad, right? So let's see. Do you see? Very bad. This is how your computer is making decisions. When we enter a wrong password and it displays the error message because your password did not match. If your password matches, it lets you log in, right? This is how computer is taking decision with the help of if and else condition. Okay, this is how computer is understanding the real instructions. Okay, now last thing I'm going to show you guys is going to be the loops. Okay, I'm going to show you loops. Computer can do the same thing multiple times. Okay, it can basically print a message 500 times if you want to. So it is possible. And how do you do it? You can do it with the for loop. This is again a computer syntax which you have to learn when you learn Python language. You will be able to understand it. So let's say if I remove everything over here. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me say I want to print a message. Okay, and I want to say hi everyone. And I want to print this hi everyone, let's say 10 times. Okay, so how can I do it? I have to type a syntax. This you will understand when you actually learn a language. I know it, so I can type it. So you can see over here. Let's say if I want to print it 10 times. See, I have written a small code now over here. You can see. So what I'm trying to do over here, it's a loop. It will go again and again multiple times. And it will go 10 times. So it will print the same message 10 times. Let's see how. Do you, okay, it has, okay, do you see that? It has printed the same message 10 times. So sometimes when there is a requirement of printing the same message multiple times, we use for loop. This is how we actually pass instructions in the form of language or coding to our computer. But this can be learned over the period of time, which takes its own, sweet time, which you have to spend.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.